Elizabeth Sparkle, a waning Hollywood actress, was coming face to face with reality of having her long-running studio aerobics TV show been axed and herself being replaced with a more nubile starlet, which would be a specimen to be lusted after by studio execs and audience alike. After an unfortunate car accident, Sparkle was introduced to the clandestine world of The Substance, which provided her with the classic conundrum of damn if you do and damn if you don't, and her world went topsy-turvy from that point onwards. What transpired in the 141 minutes of The Substance, a whimsical body horror film, really put me through a continual torrent of intrigue, exasperation, and perturbation. This was like a classic David Cronenberg stories added with a modern technological intervention, like an episode of Charlie Brooker's Black Mirror. Like a well-covered-up scam syndicate, Sparkle was led through a foolproof instructions to collect her trial set like a Blue Chew or Manscaped package, and like in Alice in Wonderland, there were simple instructions to follow that even children would not do things differently. I wonder if the luminous yellowish green could be a homage paid to 1973 Soylent Green. With Sparkle as the conduit, us as audience were also being guided through the instructions and the rules to follow. Some of the instructions did not make any sense on the surface, but the dots were easy to connect together when the participants were put into tight situations like the manufacturers had predicted they would happen. The main body of the plot of the movie delved into the human psyche on whether would you be selfless on your part to sacrifice to another version of yourself when it did seems like the originator was not going to receive any form of rewards. On retrospect, it was quite ingenious to strictly tie the decisions and actions of the newer model who was reaping all the benefits to the originator, whom the manufacturer referred as the Matrix. Although this whimsical tale written by French director Coralie Fargeat was thoroughly absurd, I was wholesomely caught in the ongoings, engaged in the tussles of the two main characters, and bracing myself for the ultimate fallout, which I knew was not going to be pretty. Very literal in this case. This was like a contemporary Aesop fable but not meant for children, with its gratuitous usage of female nudity. The body horrors were on point to demonstrate the visceral nature of committing to a decision like this, and not comfortable to sit through. Medical or hospital horror on bare skins can really escalate the cringe reactions from me as much as Art the Clown mutilating his victims for the fun of it. The movie was also incredibly funny in a few situations, to a point I find myself guffawing heartily. Let's talk about director Fargeat and her style of filmmaking. Coralie Fargeat first rose to prominence in her directorial debut in 2017 called Revenge. From synopsis and the trailer, it felt like I Spit on Your Grave meets Mad Max Fury Road. But it was clear that Fargeat was savvy to create stories that dug deep into the bowels of the most abhorrent of human nature. In The Substance, she relied a lot on sound effects and sometimes musical score to unsettle the audience. You will find dialogues being cut to the minimal in the first half of the movie when Lee Sparkle was figuring out the repercussions of using the substance and Suzanne was exploring her playground with the world under her feet. Fargeat had her mise-en-scène, and with the carpeting of the TV studio and the white tiles of the bathroom, it was unmistaken of her ode to one Stanley Kubrick. In the climactic showdown, Fargeat also paid homages to other classic horror films as well. The director listed the likes of David Cronenberg, Paul Verhoeven, and Michael Haneke as some of her influences, and from The Substance, she had created an unsettling feature that could measure up to the works of the greats she had listed. I love the bookends focusing on Sparkle's star tile on Hollywood Walk of Fame. Demi Moore, an actress for years we would associate with her ex-husbands like Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher. Being a part of the 1980s Frat Pack and then her emergence in 1990s Ghost with Patrick Swayze, she would push the envelope with her roles in movies like G.I. Jane, Disclosure, and Indecent Proposal. Her raspy voice and her good looks somehow stymied her progress as an actor's actor, and for the last 20 years, we had not seen much notable works from her, much less her involvement in a horror film. In the lead role of Elizabeth Sparkle, Moore needed to exude that sparkle, pun duly intended. She needed to have the glow of a celebrity, yet bearing the inhibition and insecurity from her waning popularity. When she was at war with Suzanne, Lee's gluttony indulgence and her reclusiveness was masterful. That particular scene with her battling within herself on whether she should go on a date with an old friend, but somehow was caught in a guilt trip, and we kept seeing her flipping over her decisions before wallowing in sorrow in the darkness. To me, it was an award-winning performance and hope she would be recognized during award season. In the role of Suzanne, the new model, we have Margaret Qualley. Fargeat created Suzanne as a sex goddess that would reign for that 5 minutes of fame. I did not see the appeal of Suzanne at first. It was no doubt that she was very attractive. I could not feel that she could take over someone like Demi Moore. Sue's confidence and charm slowly won me over, and as she was not the Matrix, you can feel her own set of insecurities, especially one particular scene when she thought her dream of stardom was over before it began. Qualley is the daughter of actress and model Andie MacDowell, so the apple does not fall far from the tree. She was featured in Greek director Yorgos Lanthimos' recent works like Poor Things and Kind of Kindness, the latter which is also knee-deep in the body horror genre. I was quite amazed that with their careers starting and prospering in around the same era, Demi Moore and Dennis Quaid were not paired up in the movie previously until The Substance. I would never envision Quaid, a dashing leading man at his prime, to play that uncouth, self-centered studio exec. His role, albeit been using sparingly, was the catalyst of the whole story unraveling as it did. It is pretty blatant I could not stop waxing lyrical over this movie from Coralie Fargeat, and this is one of my favourite of the year. However, the movie seems pretty polarizing when I posted a question on whether Demi Moore should be nominated for the Best Actress accolade in the upcoming Academy Awards, only to receive barrage of criticism about the movie and the ending, which I felt was relevant. When you played with your body so much, it started to go haywire. This is a 9 out of 10 classic from yours truly. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and get notified with my top 10 coming up imminently before the new year. The preceding review was on director Gary Doberman's take on Stephen King's Salem's Lot. At this moment, I will start to raise eyebrows if the self-care package I ordered online starting to instruct me to inject myself. Good night.